Speaking of things found in the water, we have to talk about the Salish Sea mystery. The mystery of the feet washing up from the Salish Sea has been solved by science. Welcome to my Stranger Science series, where we discuss all the mysteries, you guessed it, solved by science. Over the course of 12 years, starting in 2007, a total of 15 feet washed ashore in an area around Vancouver Island called the Salish Sea. But all the feet had one thing in common. They were all still inside a shoe. These mystery feet got so famous that they even got their own Wikipedia page. Of course, the initial theory was there must be some madman on the loose, and then it was aliens. But here's the thing. Why are only the feet washing up on shore and not the entire body? And why are they only turning up here on the shores of British Columbia? To answer this, we have to understand how a cadaver acts in the water. Using data collected in 1942 by the US Navy, researchers found that when you exhale all the air out of your lungs, which would be the case for a cadaver, 69% of the bodies will float if they're naked. However, add any extra weight like clothing or water in the lungs, the body will sink straight to the bottom of the ocean. Sometimes a body will bloat and float back up to the top, but not always, especially if it's a deep lake or ocean. And that's because the frigid cold temperatures and pressure will prevent decay. Instead, microbes convert the body tissues into a adiposphere. It's that wax-like tissue that basically embalms the body for years and sometimes even centuries. And that is exactly what the Salish Sea feet looked like. They were covered in adipospheres, suggesting that the bodies they were once attached to had sunk underwater and remained there. But that led to an even bigger question. Why didn't the feet stay down with the bodies? And the only way to answer that is to understand how human bodies decompose underwater. Since science frowns upon using real human bodies, forensic scientist Gail Anderson used a pig cadaver instead. Firstly, the pig immediately sank to the seafloor, and two, the scavengers promptly picked the pig cadaver apart, primarily focusing in on the soft tissues, including the ankles. Turns out a shoe-wearing cadaver would have its feet separated pretty quickly underwater, causing them to float to the top. But why here specifically? Well, the Salish Sea is like this perfect storm. It's this large, complex body of water that kind of acts like a trap. The winds blow things in from the ocean rather than pushing them back out. So even if the body was somewhere else, it would eventually get caught up into these winds and end up washing ashore somewhere along the shores of the Salish Sea. That was really hard to say. But here's info I know you want to know. Investigators were able to link 7 of the 9 feet to missing people, none of which were the result of homicide. No mad serial killer on the loose, just a mystery solved by science. And make sure you're following our YouTube channel because we're dropping a Stranger Science episode on Amelia Earhart.